Hi guys, welcome back to Sin City Living. Jason here with today's video. And again guys, if you have any questions, strategies, anything you would like to see us film, please shoot us an email. I only have a couple of emails, so just got a couple of videos I'm going to be shooting right now. So the first email comes from Raina, and I'm actually going to answer the questions a little bit backwards just so I can do the more interesting part first. So the last question that she asks, and I think she may have gotten us confused with another channel, likely a channel that is not an actual craps dealer or a casino employee. But the question is, you've mentioned several times that casinos offer free craps lessons, often have their own agendas with pushing how they want people to play craps. That is absolutely 100% not true. Absolutely not. So that's where I think you might have gotten us mixed up with another channel, because I would never say that, because it's just not true. It's honestly not true. The casinos do not care how you play craps. In fact, all the casinos care about is that you play. That's why all these various strategies you see on the internet, the casinos don't care. Even people that do do's, the casinos don't care, because as long as you're betting, the odds are with the house. It doesn't matter what strategy you've got that you think is unbeatable and heads this, heads that. All the casino cares about is that you play. They actually prefer people to play the best way possible. They want people to win because the odds are still with the house. The casino's going to make their money regardless, but if everybody played the best way, the most high likelihood of winning, then we would see more winners. We'd still have more losers than winners, so of course the casino would make more money, or would make money either way. But the more winners that there are, the more people play. We would much prefer a full table of say 15, 16 people with 2 or 3 people that are winning, and winning pretty big, because that's gonna keep the table going and that's gonna keep more people playing. Whereas if everybody loses because people have terrible strategies or just don't know how to play, the table clears out, we stand empty. We much prefer people playing, so they want people to win. Now the rest of the question, what do I recommend is the best way to get an unbiased intro course into how to play craps? Honestly, those casino courses are pretty darn good. They really, really are, for the 30 or so minutes that they have. Thing is, this is an incredibly complex game, and you find intros all over the place. What I recommend to people is 2 things. 1, find intros that just discuss how the game is played. That's it, how the game is played. Avoid videos or people that tell you what strategy you must play. They're full of it, okay? Just learn how to play the game. Now, the best ways to play, honestly, are pass line, odds, and then place bets. Keep it simple. You'll notice that the biggest money winners, that's what they're doing. They're playing place bets. Occasional come bet players, but that's because they're betting max odds, and or they are pressing it via put bets and all that, which is a little bit more cumbersome, but still workable. But unbiased opinion on how to play craps. Again, the casinos give you the best odds. There's a reason that those little cards with the ideal statistically best way to play blackjack is allowed at the table. There's a reason that's allowed, because they want people to play the best possible way with the highest likelihood of winning. So it is an unbiased, true way of playing. People that tell you different are people that have their own agendas, that typically are running off of the false theory that the casinos are trying to teach you the worst way to play because they want to take all your money. That's just not true. The casino's going to get their money, and they will make more money when people win, because when people win, other people start playing. You got one person that is playing great, knows how to play, catches a great roll, catches a fantastic roll, wins a whole bunch of money. It draws all kinds of other people to the game. Not to mention, every time someone wins, not every time, but when someone wins, especially a new player, when someone wins, say a couple $1,000s, over the next, say, year or 2, depends how often they come to Vegas, over the next, say, 3 or 4 visits, they're probably going to lose more than that. People catch a big win right at first, they tend to get hooked and keep playing. Now, with the rest of the questions, apologize if this is somewhat boring the way it's set up. She mentions that she watched a high-limit blackjack video on YouTube that was actually at a casino. I'm not going to mention the casino. I try not to mention casino names, but they obviously had permission to film. It was in a private room in the high-limit salon. And she mentions that the dealers, one of the dealers had only been dealing for for a couple of years and hadn't been at this high-end casino for very long, only for a year. And she mentions that she was under the impression the dealers had to be dealing for about 10 to 15 years to get into the premier spots. Yes and no. 1 or 2 years is really quick, but it is definitely possible. Generally, for the high-end places, you're looking at least 2 to 5 years of experience dealing the games to be able to get in. It also will depend on what games you know. If you've only been dealing for, say, 2 years, but your best games are, say, craps and baccarat, that's going to give you a big big head start over other people that don't necessarily have those games, because those are very in-demand games. Also, the more games that the dealer knows. And as I mentioned before, it comes down to skill. There are dealers that have only been dealing for 2 years that are far better than dealers that have been dealing for 20 years. There's also dealers that have been dealing for 20 years that are pretty much untouchable at their skill level. So it all depends. It really does. Where do the crossfire conversations go? Unfortunately, thanks to our schedules, we've all moved on to different casinos and different schedules. We all no longer work together. We no longer work on the same shifts. We don't see each other as much. It's a lot harder to manage crossfire videos. Are the dealers that are selected to deal during the World Series of Poker, do they get paid extra, or is it simply a different shift arrangement? It's actually completely different. You know, how do the casinos handle coverage for those special events? It's completely different. Dealers that deal the World Series of Poker are actually hired by and paid by WSOPs. They're the ones, they're completely separate. They have to pass the World Series of Poker course and their testing, and then they are hired by the World Series of Poker for those events. Because those events do not occur on the casino floor. Those are typically somewhere else. Those are usually in conference rooms and things along, and ballrooms and stuff like that. They just set up plenty of tables. And those dealers are, of course, paid by the World Series of Poker, not the casino that they are at. As far as any celebrities that we may have dealt to, those are names I definitely would not mention in a video. But apologize if this isn't action oriented enough for you guys. But I do like to respond to every email, so thank you for sending that email. And please send us some more emails, guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.